Hey, it's James here, goodguitarist.com, and today I'm going to show you how to play No Surprises by Radiohead. Let's just take a quick look at what we'll be learning today. So you can see it has this really cool chord melody intro, and then from there it's just some chords and strumming. There are no bar chords in this song, so it's like a late beginner, early intermediate kind of level. Before we dive in, if you haven't grabbed your copy of my free ebook, I'll put a link in the corner and down below. It's free for all my subscribers. It contains all the fundamentals of acoustic guitar, chords, strumming patterns, all that stuff. And while you're down there, if you could take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoy learning guitar with me. Otherwise, let's just jump right in. The song's in the key of D. So we start out on a D chord. And for that intro, we go between that and a G minor chord, but we're gonna play it in a bit of a different way. We end up with the G minor chord, which, by the way, I put my index on the 3rd fret of the thickest string, skip a string, skip a string. Middle finger goes on the 3rd fret of the G string, and then my ring finger just underneath it on the 3rd fret of the B string. And you'll see the way that I play this, I'm leaning my index so that it mutes the A string. And normally we'd also be muting the thinnest string with the underside of our ring finger, but we actually want that open as part of our riff. And that's a great alternative to the usual G minor bar chord that you run across. Anyways, we open up on that D chord and we're gonna strum the top 4 strings, and then we're gonna pick. So I'm going between the G string, B string, and then G string. So strum, pick, pick, pick. That's the first thing you want to get used to. And I find it helps if I put my pinky down just above the sound hole. That way I don't even have to look at my fingers and I can kind of feel where it is. And then we're going to pivot off of our ring finger and get our index finger down on the 3rd fret of the thickest string. We lift our ring, but we leave it just above where it needs to be. And now I'm going to strum the bottom 4 strings, and I rest my pick on the B string. And then I put my middle finger down where it goes on that G minor chord, the 3rd fret of the G string. And then I put my ring finger down, and I play the 3rd fret of the B string, and then the thinnest string. And from there, I can pivot with my ring finger into that D chord because it's in the same spot on both shapes. So I'm going to do that a couple times just to show you. I have my index on the thickest string. I rest my pick on the B string. I place my finger, place my ring finger. And then you add that to that D chord 3 times. And you just go between those 3 times on D and 1 time on G minor. So that's our intro, and after that we can start strumming some chords. We start off on D, and we're gonna go. Our pattern is down, root, down, down, up. I want to count it out because downstrokes and upstrokes don't really mean anything unless they happen at the right time. So on beat 1 we have a down, and then on beat 2 there's a root, which is just like a little downstroke that aims at the thicker strings just to provide some contrast. Then on beat 3, another downstroke, and on beat 4 and a down, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have trouble strumming with a steady rhythm, I recommend counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Consider the down up on beat 4 like a single entity, 4, and just going through it that way. If you need further help, like I said, I have that free ebook. I also have a course, Learn Guitar Once and For All, that we can talk more about at the end of this lesson. Either way, we play our strumming pattern 4 times on D. Full of light, a land. And then here, we're gonna move our index finger to the 2nd fret of the A string, and it's resting underneath the thickest string, so it's muting the thickest string. And this is G major 7/B, but all you have to do is move one finger from the D chord and make sure you're muting the thicker string. We strum that 4 times. Landfill, drop that slowly. And then here, E minor, kills you 2 times, A 1 time, and then we suspend the A by adding our pinky to the 3rd fret of the B string, and we just go down, down, up, and then we go back to regular A, down, down, up. So it's just like the second half of our strumming pattern. But since we're switching chords like on beat 3, we got to divide it up that way. Down, down, up, down, down, up. And you can see here I have this chord grid. I recommend learning things like this because when you print off, you just look up No Surprises on the internet or whatever on the, I have like an app on my iPad that you can see all the chords and everything. It never tells you how long to play each chord for. And that's really confusing, right? So we write it out this way. You have all the beats, how many times to play the strumming pattern, where it varies. You print off the lyrics to No Surprises and you just write this down beside the words on like the right side of the page. And that's the best way to make you actually learn the song and not just be like following and missing beats, Either way, once we get through those chords, then we play our intro once. And then we go back to strumming the 2nd verse. You, so tired, unhappy, break down the government. They don't speak for us. And then again, take a quiet life, a handshake of carbon monoxide. And here we go into the chorus, which is just like the last line of our verse, but they repeat it over and over again. No alarms and no surprises. 3 times. Alarms and no surprises. No alarms and no surprises. Silent intro. And then for the bridge, we're basically just reusing, once you've learned the verse, we're just reusing those parts. The bridge, we could strum D 4 times and then G major 7/B 4 times, or we could go doing our little pattern 4 times on D. Final fit mine. And then again for for this next chord, final, same thing, I'm just doing the exact same pattern that I do on D over and over again, 4 times on each of those chords. And then another chorus, and then there's an instrumental part, A 2 times with the strumming pattern, G minor 2 times with the strumming pattern. And that transition is really easy to make. We leave our ring and middle in the same position from A. We lift our index, we drag them up 1 fret, and then we put our index down on the 3rd fret of the thickest string. 2 times on G minor, back to A. 2 times on E minor. That's a really easy section. And then it's just the same stuff from here on out. There's nothing new for the rest of the song. Just another half verse, another chorus, and then the outro, we do our usual thing. And we finish with a single strum of D. If you want to play the entire song with me from start to finish, that's available on my Patreon page. Otherwise, don't forget to grab your copy of my free ebook. And if you want like the full path, from start to finish, from absolute beginner to confident strummer, I have a course, Learn Guitar Once and For All, that's designed to just go one little step at a time. And every lesson builds on the next. There's like 100 lessons, and I take you through everything that you need to be confident playing chord progressions, all the most useful strumming patterns, learning how to read a chord chart, how to tune your guitar, how to hold it properly, all the stuff that you need to be able to just show up and play songs like this. It also comes with access to the Good Guitarist community. That's a private group where you can post your progress, take part in the monthly challenges. You can like literally make a video and I can watch you play and tell you what to do. It's a great way to get better even faster. I'll put a link to all that stuff down below. Otherwise, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.